Let me ask you something that none of the talking heads on television seem willing to engage in. When was the last time you saw a funeral? Not a headline, not a death toll, not a graphic on the screen that says 30,000 killed in the uprising. An actual funeral. A name on a casket. A mother crying in a church or a mosque or on a street corner somewhere in Iran. I'll wait. Because I've been watching and I've seen drone footage of buildings. I've seen crowds in streets. I've seen fire and smoke and destruction. But I have not seen one burial. I have not heard the name of one leader of that uprising. I have not seen a single mortuary owner interviewed, a single exile community grieving their dead, a single hospital overwhelmed. The way you see in every conflict that actually produces 30,000 bodies. I saw bodies in Palestine. And I'm not saying people didn't die. I am saying, where is the human residue of 30,000 deaths? Because history tells us what that looks like. Tiananmen had Tank Man. The Arab Spring had names, faces, songs, exile communities. Every genuine uprising produces martyrs, because martyrs are what movements are made of. You don't lose 30,000 people and have no one to put on a poster. So I'm asking the question, not because I have all of the answers, but because the pattern of manufactured pretext has a very specific fingerprint. And we've seen it before. They told us Kuwaiti babies were being thrown from incubators by Iraqi soldiers. That was a lie, crafted by a PR firm, delivered by a crying teenage girl who turned out to be the Kuwaiti ambassador's daughter. It got us into Gulf War I. They told us Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Colin Powell sat in front of the United Nations with a vial and a diagram. It was theater. It got us into Iraq. And we're still there. Now watch the pattern. Why Iran? Why Venezuela? Of all the nations on this big earth, why are those two the recurring pressure points of this administration? Let me follow the money for you. Venezuela sits on the largest proven oil reserves on the planet. Iran sits on the fourth largest. Both nations, and this is the part they don't put in the chyron at the bottom of the screen. Both nations nationalized their oil, meaning they took it back from the international oil companies and said, this belongs to our people. Iraq nationalized its oil before 2003. Libya nationalized its oil before Gaddafi was removed. Venezuela nationalized its oil. Iran nationalized its oil. Do you see the pattern? Because it's not about democracy. It's not about nuclear programs. It's not about human rights. If it were, we'd have invaded Saudi Arabia 20 years ago. The consistent variable every single time is who controls the spigot. And when the spigot gets nationalized, when the profits stop flowing to the right people, suddenly that country becomes a threat to freedom. Suddenly there's an uprising. Suddenly there are casualty numbers that nobody can verify with no funerals, no leaders, no names. Watch the pattern, because the targets were never random. And the next time you see a number on the screen without a single face to go with it, ask yourself who benefits from you believing that number. And that's Keith Speaks. I'm Keith. Watch the pattern. The money is the pattern. Numbers never lie, and when they add up to the same thing every time, the calculation is not wrong. They just want you to believe it, even though the math ain't mathin'. Agree, disagree. Please comment, share, subscribe, like it or not, but start the conversation and ask better questions.